The state of Florida that recently, according to our Department of Education, told teachers you are now legally required to tell students how slaves learned some pretty cool things while being slaves. They didn't. They used them for their personal benefit, is what teachers now have to say. You learn skills the slaves did that they could use for their personal benefit. You know, like during the slave retirement plans that also didn't exist. But anyway, after assaulting history, after assaulting critical race theory to the point where we've had to ban certain math books for allegedly being too woke here in the state of Florida, our Republican-controlled government actually has approved a new set of curriculum that is now available for teachers in the state. And that curriculum happens to be coming from PragerU, the right-wing nonprofit group that puts out little videos like Why I Left the Left. They have a new program for kids that is now approved, even though it's not accredited, but it's approved for use in Florida public schools. Let me read you this statement from PragerU CEO Marissa Streit. Ms. Streit said, "We have seen that our schools have been hijacked by the left. They have been politicized. They have been used by union bosses. They have been doing everything under the sun, not for our children. And so we have launched PragerU Kids, and we started providing great edutainment, educational entertainment for children across America. But we didn't just stop there. Now we're actually making turnkey curriculum, content for your schools. And the state of Florida just announced that we are now becoming an official vendor. This means that if you are a teacher in Florida, you cannot be fired for using PragerU content." So, for years now in Florida, we've been told that the left is indoctrinating kids in school. Teachers are indoctrinating our kids. School boards are indoctrinating our kids. Drag queens are indoctrinating our kids. Everybody, by God, is indoctrinating our kids. So why not have actual indoctrination of our children into conservative ideology? And in case you were wondering, is PragerU indoctrination? How about we look at Dennis Prager's own words? This is what he told a Moms for Liberty group earlier this year. "It's true, we bring doctrines to children, but what is the bad about our indoctrination?" So we've now legalized indoctrination here in the state of Florida into conservative ideology. Here's just a couple, by the way. Let me read this. This is actually from my local newspaper that had talked about this. Here's some of the, popular videos on PragerU. "Was the Civil War about slavery? The inconvenient truth about the Democratic Party. Why I left the left. War on boys." PragerU also argues that there's no wage gap between men and women, and it has praised Confederate General Robert E. Lee for crushing an attempted slave rebellion. They've also attacked Europe for allowing what they call, quote, mass migration. The Southern Poverty Law Center and other independent watchdog organizations have basically called them out repeatedly for the anti-Muslim and anti-immigration content that they say PragerU puts out. But here's the thing. PragerU is not accredited. My channel, Ring of Fire, all of us here, we have just as much accreditation as PragerU. We talk about issues. We educate people about issues. I do it in an entertaining way. So why is this not edutainment? So if you can show a PragerU video to your children, why can you not show a Ring of Fire video? Right? What would happen if a teacher walked into the classroom and said, "You know what, kids, let's look at the latest Farron Cousins video. Let's see what old Ring of Fire has to say about this. Let's hear Mike Papantonio talk about the ways that corporations are screwing us over and poisoning us every day." That teacher would be fired by the end of the day. But PragerU, conservative group, oh, no. That's allowed. It's illegal now. Even though Dennis Prager himself has said, yeah, we indoctrinate. Mind-blowing. But this is the state we're in. So all I have to say is this. I have kids in 3 different public schools here in the state of Florida. Elementary, middle, and high school. let one of them come home and tell me that their teacher showed them a PragerU video in school. Let them. Because what will happen then is there will be lawsuits. There will be legal filings. There will be challenges. But I am not, under any circumstances, as a parent here in the state of Florida, going to allow my kids to be indoctrinated by anyone. I don't do it. And I'm damn sure not going to let somebody else do it. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.